Coraline was written and directed by Henry Selick, who I'm sure you have a lot to say about, or a lot to think about him. I think highly of him because, he only directed your favorite movie of all time. So I think it's only fitting that I bring her on because we talked about Nightmare Before Christmas together last year. Here we are doing Henry Selick's other movie this year in Coraline. And I completely forgot how f***ed up this movie was. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, a lot of my friends cannot handle it, and they keep saying it's too creepy, but my cousin and I grew up on this together all the time. It is our favorite movie together, and we love it.
Why?
It does not scare us.
Why is the opening sequence an embalmment?
Yeah, see, I have some fun facts about that. People don't think that it's an embalmment because they're just like, oh, she's cutting up.
It totally
she's creating
is.
a new doll. But if you look at the tools, they are not sewing tools. They are an embalming kit, and it is basically her embalming because the previous doll that she had is a dead kid. And the doll that she's making is for the kid that is gonna die.
Strap in, folks. Coraline is about as macabre as it gets when it comes to animated movies. Holy sh**.
While exploring her new home, a girl named Coraline, voiced by Dakota Fanning, discovers a secret door, behind which lies an alternate world that closely mirrors her own, but in many ways is better. She rejoices in her discovery until Other Mother, voiced by Teri Hatcher, and the rest of her parallel family try to keep her there forever. Coraline must use all her resources and bravery to make it back to her own family and life.
Now, I'll be honest, I feel like one of the only times I've seen Coraline was when I saw it in theaters as a young boy. And that was quite the experience going to the theater that day with my grandmother, who was like, okay, I'm going to take you to all of the animated kids movies. And they, oh my God, yeah, this thing was nuts. And I hadn't seen it in a really long time. Like I would watch it here and there periodically, but I didn't remember a lot of what happens in this film. Damn. damn.
The only time I've seen it in theaters was when they did the anniversary release last year. Me and my friend went to go see it.
That was like the 15th anniversary, I think. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, it came out like, what, 07, I think?
But I've had the DVD for as long as I can remember, and now I have your DVD because you prefer Blu-rays. So my cousin and I would always watch Coraline on there.
Yeah.
On a little DVD player. Little portable one. That's all we had, and we'd watch it at night.
Now, this was based off of a book that I did not read as a kid. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. Where's she going? Are you okay?
Yeah, I just got scared. I misjudged.
I'm keeping this all in, by the way. This one. Yeah, that she just struggled to go and grab.
I actually haven't read it yet, but I know that there's so much that they left out in the film. It's way more creepy. There's so much more that happens in here.
I can imagine. I mean, that's how the Harry Potter books were like growing up. Like, there's a lot of details that were kept out of the movies. You can think of like the House Elf Revolution in Goblet of Fire that was completely cut out.
For example, there's an extra character.
In Coraline?
In the book. There's an extra character who, I believe, it either tries to help her get out or tries to persuade her to stay. And I don't know if that's what they base the cat on or if the cat is separate. I haven't read it. I know.
This cat, by the way, like thinking about it and just like getting ready to record and just starting to talk about it, I don't know how much this was influenced by Hocus Pocus or not. This cat was making me think of Thackeray Binks.
It's a black cat.
I know, but this cat talks and is helping her on the journey. It was making me think of Thackeray.
I think it's probably based on, like, I feel like the cat isn't in the book. I haven't read it, but from the knowledge I have of what's in this book, I think the character I was talking about is supposed to be the cat, but they made it a cat to make it more family friendly and not this creepy looking thing.
Yeah, but honestly, this film, there's a lot to love about it. It's super colorful. I love all the greens and the blacks all put together. And the purples.
Blues.
But in your opinion, like, what is your favorite part of Coraline? Like, I know there's a lot to choose from. There's a lot of elements. But you gotta have a favorite thing.
A favorite thing? A favorite scene? You need to break it down for me.
Favorite scene. There's a lot of creepy scenes in this. Because there's a lot that you can pick from. She can't pick.
Go back to me in 10 minutes?
She can't pick. Yeah, no.
There's so many, but I think I just like noticing the details in a lot of the scenes. Like when it says welcome home and she gets all the food, there's a double cursive O. So in the O, there's a 2 little loop. 1 in welcome, 2 in home for the O, which means that she's welcome, but she's not home. Because that's a little trick in cursive or in some sort of a just known thing that if it's a double thing, it's supposed to be like a trick or a lie.
Easter eggs. Easter eggs galore. Maybe this is an Easter movie. This isn't so much a Halloween movie because of how many Easter eggs there are in Coraline. She's so annoyed with me, isn't she?
It's an all-year-round movie for me.
Yeah, I mean, you just watch it with your cousin all the time.
I just watch it whenever I feel like it.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I tried to watch it in my dorm, and people didn't like it, so I had to watch it in my room instead because they couldn't watch it on the TV.
But with Henry Selick's involvement, there's gonna be some wacky going on, just like in Nightmare Before Christmas. It's not a musical like Nightmare Before Christmas is. It's a completely different animal.
Some of the music is actually just made up words.
Yeah.
Like the main song that people think of.
The song that plays on the main menu on the Blu-ray. It's a completely different language. It's not like Pig Latin or anything.
No, it's like
made up.
It's got pieces of different languages in it, but it's so that people... It's just because it's its own made-up world. It's its own made-up thing.
And the music itself, the music in this movie, whew,
really good.
So creepy. And I don't know if it's Elfman or not. I'd have to look it up. Yeah, hold on. I'm looking this up.
I don't think so, but I knew it.
Yeah. So his name is Bruno Collays. Oh man, I totally butchered that name. But regardless, this is beautiful music, very Elfman-esque. Sort of.
If you know Elfman, it's not very Elfman-esque. There's a couple points in it that may seem like it, but...
Yeah. It almost feels creepier. Like with Nightmare Before Christmas, Selick was making a very otherworldly, dreamlike musical, in a sense. Coraline is almost like a nightmare. like in every single way. This movie is going to sit with me for a long time. Even though it already did when I was a kid and I was probably freaked out by it, and that's why I didn't watch it again for as long as I did. Oh my gosh, Coraline creeps me the out.
It doesn't creep me out. I love it.
How?
I acknowledge.
They have like buttons on their like head.
I
like
acknowledge.
Dolls.
I acknowledge that it's creepy. It never creeped me out. I mean, when I first watched it, I was probably like, wow, that's cool. Like, for example, horror films or thriller films that are supposed to be creepy, like Smile or things like that, where they just are there with, like, the smiles and everything.
Watch out for Smile 2 being reviewed on this channel very soon. But anyway.
That I can see is creepy, but Coraline never creeped me out. It never did. It never has, and I acknowledge that people can see it as creepy, and I see why. But to me, it was just cool.
To me, that's what makes it almost magical in a sense of how scary it is. And it's actually like, I credit Scream, the original Scream movie, with being the real film that introduced me to the genre as a whole. I feel like I can lump Coraline in, sort of. Like, because I didn't necessarily look at it as a scary movie when I was a kid. I was like, oh, this could be a cute movie with dolls. And there's a little talking cat who's helping Dakota Fanning out on her journey. Man, how delusional I was as a kid. I was really, really talking myself up and talking myself out of the inevitable rabbit hole that I was going to be digging into with all this crazy-ass imagery. Like, good Lord, Henry Selick, nobody else directs a weird movie like you do. Leica Entertainment also is a studio that does not get enough credit.
I agree.
And I don't want to say that Coraline is my favorite that Leica has put out. I think I prefer Paranorman over this.
Really?
Yeah. I think Paranorman's a little bit more fun. I think it's also a really nice, like, overarching love letter to the horror genre. Coraline itself, I think, is just a thriller. And, like, I don't know how rewatchable it is compared to Paranorman. Like, I would rewatch it a good amount after this. I know you would rewatch it a ton.
I'll rewatch it tonight if you want to. I'll rewatch it tomorrow morning.
Don't rewatch it tonight.
I'll rewatch it in Easter. I'll rewatch it.
Oh.
It's an everyday movie for me.
Oh, but like the little mice that are getting like buttons on their like, I don't like that. I don't know why this movie's freaking me out so much, guys. I really don't.
It was his choice to review this, by the way.
It was. And then she said, if you don't have me on this video, I'm going to turn your eyes into buttons.
No, I would sew buttons into your eyes.
You would sew buttons into my eyes.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to anymore.
Lucky you.
Yay! But I think Dakota Fanning, honestly, is the standout, and she was one of the biggest child stars of the time. Like, I remember her being in that really shitty Cat in the Hat movie as Sally.
I forgot about that.
Oh my god. Yeah, she was playing, ironically enough, she was playing another lifeless doll in that movie as well. But she, I think really gets the character. I think she really sells the urgency of the situation, certainly. And I think she shares good chemistry with everybody. I love the character designs that we see in this movie. I love the contrast, especially in the father, because you see him and he's a workaholic and his eyes are completely bagged out. I really hope I don't turn into that guy in another life. But then when Coraline goes into the parallel universe and his eyes are buttons, he's singing songs, and that song is pretty catchy. The one he plays on the piano for her out of love for his daughter.
A song about Coraline.
Yeah.
She's a doll, she's a pal of mine.
I was having serious Mandela effect after I heard that song for the first time, and I was constantly changing up the tune and the lyrics in my head. So I will probably never know how that song goes. Yeah. No, you did for the most part. Yeah, but I don't know if I'm going to remember it.
I'll play it for you later.
Fair enough. But yeah, no, Teri Hatcher is the mother as well. Phenomenal.
Also, the song of him doing that is the other father. That's not the regular.
No, I know.
Okay.
I know. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah, no, other father and then other mother. Man, other mother. What a creepy ass villain, though.
The Beldam.
Yes. Yeah. No, she is just horrifying to look at. Oh, okay. So when I rate scary movies, a lot of times for the Halloween special and just in general, when I go and see a new scary movie in theaters, my rating for it a lot of times is based on how freaky I think it is and how scary I think it is. And judging from my reactions, this is pretty high up there in terms of the freakiest movies I think I've ever seen in my life. But my only con, I guess, I don't find Coraline as rewatchable as you do. Like, I don't put this in like on a whim. Like, I'll put Nightmare Before Christmas in before this one.
I mean, it just depends on the vibe you get. And if you find it creepy, you're not going to want to watch it, just like Halloween horror movies.
Right.
Unless you're like, there's a few select handful of people where horror films are their favorite genre, so that I'm not counting.
Which it is. It's one of my favorite genres that's out there. But this,
you don't actively watch horror films as much as most people whose favorite genre is like
right,
horror films.
Yeah,
because you have so many.
Because I watch everything. Mm-hmm. There's more to life than just getting freaked the out in the movie theater.
So besides the group of people who would obviously play that movie over and over.
So I think with that being said, aside from the rewatchability factor, Coraline is a beautiful looking, macabre, creepy ass movie.
It's done really well with claymation too. And the 15th anniversary thing I went to showed unreleased footage of behind the scenes. So I have a lot more in my head about how it was made on top of stuff they've already released. And it's incredible the amount of detail that went into this and the amount of models and just it's incredible. I recommend finding some behind the scenes video. I know Leica Studios has probably something on their website that you can try and find it, or you can go find interviews and stuff on YouTube, but I recommend it. It's incredible.
Nobody does it like Leica, man. I mean, they're a gem when it comes to animation studios. I feel like all their films that they've put out have been certified bangers, and then Coraline is right up there with the best of them. I'm gonna give Coraline an A.
If you're rating it so I give the movie an A+.
Of course you do. Yeah.
I say in the middle because I'm biased with how much I love it, but if I didn't love it so much, it would probably be an A. But because you're rating it with scariness and things, for me, it never really scared me, so it would probably go under a C of scariness and creepiness to me, because I was never scared or creeped out by it. Maybe like the first couple times I watched it, but it was like
crazy.
Yeah, but it was like cool creepy, where it's like I want to go back to watching it. So I guess I give it an A+ and a C.
Oh, okay.
If you're rating it on scariness and creepiness, from my personal preference and my personal, just I guess how I felt about it, it's a C. Because I didn't find it super creepy. I find it creepy, but good creepy. So I don't know really how to rate that. But overall, I love it. So it's an A+.
There you go. There you have it. Hit that subscribe button if you're new. Hit that thumbs up as well if you haven't already. Certainly a lot more to come in this Halloween playlist, guys, and this is not the last time you're going to be seeing Lindsey on this playlist.
And stay away from small, tiny doors. You don't know where they lead.
Mm-hmm. And stay away from, if they look like your mother, but they have little beady buttons for eyes, definitely do not eat whatever she's feeding you. Yeah, that's... That's all I gotta say about that. As long as you have a talking cat to help you through the journey, then I think you should be okay. And with all that being said, commence that back talk.